Good morning. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. Got lost in the Twitter sphere. But let's keep it moving. So today I wanted to share really briefly a book that I use for my they're not necessarily petitions, but they are. It is a book that I use to manifest things into my life, and pretty much everything that I've written in it has come true. So I wanted to share a few techniques with you on my process, right? So let me show you the book. I want to say that I decorated her. Look, she's very pretty. I put sticker gems on her. Beautiful, beautiful. And I have found that dressing things like this, dressing candles, dressing, sorry, whoop, did not mean to flip. Just wanted to get a hair. Whoop. Dressing candles, dressing books, dressing your magical materials really attract spirit. They like shiny things, and it just puts more love into your work, more love and beauty. So before I wrote down anything, I want to show you the introduction that I made for this book because it's pretty important. And I would encourage you, if you start a book like this, to write down the same or a similar introduction. So here we go. Okay, it says, henceforth, any ink to touch these pages is so. These pages are protected by God, whereby ego is unable to penetrate. This is a sacred space. I am ready and in a space to receive everything coming into my life, now for the highest and greatest. I think it's good. Good, always and only, this and then some. That needs a comma. It is so. And then I signed my name and put the and I put the date. So this was last year in March. And my life has transformed. Look at that dog. My floor is not always this dirty, but look at this precious animal. No, my floor is not always this dirty, but it is right now. So forgive me. So I'm gonna reread the introduction just to have like a smoother, just to like get it into your brain. Henceforth, any ink to touch these pages is so. These pages are protected by God, whereby ego is unable to penetrate. This is a sacred space. I am ready and in a space to receive everything coming into my life, now for the highest and greatest good, always and only, this and then some. It is so. And I signed my name and the date. I think I got some of this, excuse me, some of this introduction from Bahati Life. She had a video about this, but I will use markers, Sharpies, because it is more of a permanent signature. It is more of a stamp, right? Pencils can be erased. Pens are great, but I have found that markers, Sharpies, something that is bold like this, yeah, that's bold like this is more likely to imprint these things, right? And I will draft these, what do you even call them? They're not really affirmations. They're not petitions. But I guess I am affirming. I haven't decided what to call them exactly, but I'll show you an example of the first thing I wrote. And I wrote this in March of 2019, and my life has slowly progressed more and more into this lifestyle. So, when I say these things haven't come true, I want us to be open in our expectations, because God can work in mysterious ways, deliver things in mysterious ways, and timing is also, I have found not to focus so much on timing. Yeah, but let me, hold up. Let me show you. So basically, the first thing I wrote was, I am a writer, producer for film, TV, and video. I create consistent content that falls under the umbrella of comedy, kids and family, and music. My style is quirky and offbeat. I empower women and represent the underrepresented. I invest in successful projects that resonate with me. I execute projects from start to finish. I adapt to changing technologies. I am prolific. I meet deadlines. I write scripts that sell. I tell unique stories in unique ways while still being accessible and relatable to audiences. I always have a handful of projects at any given opportunity. I have a lot of ideas. I am respected among my peers. I inspire audiences. I create timeless content. I write movies with heart. I am influential. I create experiences for my audience. I connect to the perfect collaborations. I maintain relationships with those I work with. I am proud of the work I've done and the influence it's had. I make people laugh and take them to a world away from what they know. I invoke new possibilities. I create content that is joyful and beautiful. I make time for writing. I dedicate myself to writing. Getting tangled, girl. I am I am a tool of God, and I use my body as a channel for divine communication. I make believe. That is what I make. That is the product I make, is for my audiences to believe. And then I said, it is so, Lauren Brown. So I guess that would be more like an affirmation, but it's still something that I want to manifest. Maybe a mantra is the best way to describe this book. But as I wrote it, I started getting more in line to my professional goals. And I was doing that regardless, but whenever you read that, especially out loud, because vibrations of your vocal cords are part of energy, right? This is energetic. And so we can think things all we want. We can think like, I need to write. But whenever we say it, that is one more layer of an energetic imprint. I'm also not going to read all of the things I wrote, but I'll try to show you guys some more stuff. So, yeah, I didn't put a time frame on that. And, it's not 100% there, but like I said, it rapidly developed once I wrote this down. So let me turn another page. Here I go. Turn the page. I also want to say that because I put in my introduction that ego is not allowed in this book, because I put, that it sort of has to go through God. I'm not just going to flippantly write in this book. This is a very intentional book. So I will draft my mantras on another page and make sure I get the wording really correct. And I mean, I'm not going to be perfect with anything, but I am very mindful of what I put into this book, making sure like it's not just my ego. And I have made some missteps in this direction, but I think for the most part, everything I've written has not been of ego, but I think my expectations have been a little off at times, right? So Let me get to another page, y'all. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So, I wrote an original pilot for a screenwriting contest at the time that was supposed to be awarded $25,000. Someone else got it. I was ticked off because Shia LaBeouf enters screenwriting contests, even though they're for no names who have like no connections. And it's not just the money. You're also connected to like studio executives and stuff like that. And so screenwriters are pissed that Shia LaBeouf is crashing our screenwriting contest when we like have been writing for like 10 years and you're already in the industry, dude. So anytime he's trending for some Fast Times at Ridgemont High or whatever crap, I don't care. I don't care about Honey Boy or whatever. He's done so. He's done so in my book. He already has the connections. He don't need it. Maybe he's entering these contests as like a way to figure out if he actually has talent or not, or if people are, sort of yes manning him. But I don't care. I don't care. Go buy a pseudonym or something. Get out of our contest. This is for like nobodies, for like struggling writers. Like, get out of here. Anyway, sorry, had to rant. But yes, this was awarded to someone else, and it's fine. And after this last draft that I did, I realized like it wasn't at its best. The script wasn't at its best. Although I'm really proud of it, guys. I'm really proud of this like last draft I did, and maybe I can do another one to make it better. But anyway, I entered it in the Screencraft contest, and I released it into the universe. We'll see if they like it. But I really like it. Anyway, it's not just about winning contests. It's not just about getting ahead. So this is where I messed up, because I made it specifically about the contest without taking into consideration the emotional underpinnings of why I wanted this goal. The purpose of why I wanted it, like the bigger purpose, right? Because this does go through God. It's not part of the ego. So this isn't just about, me getting on top. I should have wrote more about why I want to tell my story, which basically it's Witches of the Red Dirt. It's original pilot. It's very CW teenage soap opera with like a mix of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, not the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the old Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't like the new one. Anyway, but I love the themes in it. It's very like cultural mosaic, and so it explores witchcraft in regard. It's about witches in the Bible Belt, so it explores fundamentalist Christianity, it explores witchcraft, it explores atheism, it explores all of these different belief systems, and sort of gives like a multi-dimensional perspective of our own spiritual path, right? So I like that about it. It does have a lot of social justice elements to it. That's just my work, and like the first couple drafts I did, like it already had that social justice like underpinning to it. But then like this last wave of BLM, Black Lives Matter. I didn't want to like draw people like haters on my page, but I'll just say it because they do. But it has like this last wave of Black Lives Matter, of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like people are finally listening more, and so it makes my script more relevant, whereas the last version of the script might have been a little heavy-handed. There were also some things I needed to work on as far as like the multi-dimensional character of the black character, and I was able to get more in depth in this next draft, and I'm proud about that. But a couple years ago, this was 2019. It feels like a lifetime ago. A year ago, the social justice stuff might have seemed a little heavy-handed, but now, even unfortunately, it's more capitalized on, I guess. So it's more marketable, right? Anyway, so there's that, and I do like to. A lot of the psychics that I went to growing up, they said that I would influence young girls. And even psychics, like past being grown up, have said, like, I'll have an influence on young girls. I'll have a good voice for young people or whatever. So, that was an important part of the script too, because I believe that the programming that kids have now, from birth up until high school, is pretty trashy. The unscripted program's pretty trashy. Honey Boo Boo, Real Housewives, whatever the crap, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, all of that are not good examples for children, for families, for coming of age people. There's also, I love programs like Modern Family, I think is a good one. I liked The Middle, Blackish. So there's still some of those around, but for the majority of our programming, I just feel like youngins need more guidance. Whenever we grew up, we had sitcoms that at least taught us like lessons on how to treat people, how to build relationships and all of that. But now it just seems like wine in the face drama programming, right? Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the programming. And yeah. So what did I write for this one? I wrote, I am awarded $25,000 for The Witches of the Red Dirt. I have access to studio executives. I have a bevy of new contacts. I am recognized. I am understood. I am appreciated. And it isn't like, it's not just ego for me to be recognized, valued, and appreciated, understood, all of that. It does help the greater collective. So that wasn't an egoic thing. My egoic thing was assuming that this would manifest into a contest, the contest winning at the time, right? So I had a time limit on it. But I could still be awarded $25,000 for it. I can option it off. If I option it, it would probably cost, it would probably be worth a little more. I could enter it again now that it's gone through another round of drafts. So while this hasn't fully manifested, again, it's closer. Y'all are going to be like, the title is misleading. It's not. Like, I want you to try it for yourself. Okay, this one is crazy. So I'm not going to read you what I wrote because it's about a friend and it's private, but I'll sort of tell you the story. So, and this is another thing where it's like not just about me, not just about my ego, but like things I want to manifest for other people too. So I was talking with my friend on the phone and I was going through that whole sexual harassment stuff and it was kind of a dark time, but we were talking on the phone and she was really struggling at her job too. This industry, you pull a lot of hours and, so she was working 10-hour days and it's thankless. You're always like on this, like, gotta get it done. Gotta get these deadlines. Gotta like, make the client happy. Blah, 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 blah. Um, so you're always trying to please other people, and like your superiors don't give you much praise. They want you to do it even faster than you're doing it. You just don't get a lot of respect, and she was getting harassed at her place too. It's a cultural thing. It's a like industry wide thing, and she works really hard. We worked together at another movie place, and she was one of the best ones there. I really respect her as a coworker. And, grateful for her friendship and know that she deserves more than what she was getting. So, and she was also dealing with some health problems that they weren't very sympathetic of. And anyway, so as I was talking on the phone, like, and she was complaining about all this, and I was listening, and it's okay to complain. But as she was complaining, I was writing down these affirmations of basically like, give her a better job, give her a better life, give her what she deserves, because she does work hard. She is a good person, and we do not deserve this. And immediately when I wrote this down, it was so crazy because the energy shift was just like instant. As I was writing it, she made like a 180 and started talking about the positive stuff that she's doing for her creative pursuits. She wants to be a stand-up comic. She is a natural. She's hilarious. She's funny. Love her. She's very private, so I don't want to like hype her up too much. And like I said, I'm like keeping this private for this little one. But just to give you a an idea, right? And I know if she pursued it, like she would do so well. She just does such a good job. So anyway, as we were talking, she immediately did a 180 and like lit up talking about this stand-up stuff, lit up talking about classes she was taking, talking about like bits she wanted to do. And I really feel like it was because I wrote this down. And like not long after that, she got another job that it wasn't her dream job. It wasn't, it still had its challenges. It was actually the last job I left that she got for me. But it was better than what she had before. And so she did get that level up pretty shortly after I wrote this. So I think that's proof. Like immediate energy turnaround plus like 3D evidence of her getting a better job. And a few months later, after I started working there with her, she actually got another job that she had been wanting for a while, which was not in TV, film and TV. She wanted a job in government, so she got what she wanted. And I don't know if that's for me. But it's a major coincidence, right? So let's go on to another one. Okay, so this one is something that I wrote down, and I believe God has granted me, but whenever we are manifesting things, I think people get too caught up in really small details, and some manifestors will tell you to get really specific about what you want, and have like this long checklist of it has to be here in 3 days, and it has to be the color blue and blah, 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 blah. But I found for myself, if you leave it more open-ended and flexible, then your manifestations are more likely to appear. Because when you do put restrictions, like the more restrictions you put on whatever you're trying to manifest, the more disappointed you'll be, to be honest. Sometimes our lessons are meant to be learned, and getting this or that in 3 days would not uh, bring about our lessons, right? So there is a higher purpose, and there's a reason why, I said this has to pass through God. And I always pray over it. And while I'm drafting, I'll do like a tarot reading on it and like really connect and like talk with God and say, like, is this okay? Um, and, like I said, I'm human and don't get it 100% right. But there are some things that we wish for, six pack abs, or, $1 million, or the love of our life to swoop in. But the higher powers have things we need to learn in mind, a path that they can see more clearly than we can, right? Like I said, I was dealing with sexual harassment. HR was intimidating me, gaslighting me, and it was kind of a dark time, but I think it was like really pivotal. Pivotal. I think it was really pivotal in my spiritual development, in my sense of self-worth. It really taught me a lot, and so I don't resent that experience. But hold on one sec. And I've talked about this many times on this channel, but let me just get to the point. So the affirmation the mantra, whatever, that I wrote was, and I made a shaker jar for this, by the way. It smells amazing. But I think the shaker jar helped. I deserve justice. My safety is important. My health is important. I deserve the fruits of my labor. I deserve abundance. I deserve joy. I deserve rest and relaxation. I deserve freedom. I deserve a win. Beep, beep, beep. I deserve something good. I deserve to feel comfortable. I deserve a work-life balance. I deserve a quality of life. I have earned my right. I have detailed evidence. I have documentation. The scales will balance. I deserve peace. So, as a lot of you know, I did not win any sort of sexual harassment case. My lawyer was very helpful, but we are dealing with really big Goliaths against tiny little Davids. And unless you have someone who jacked off in a pot and you have a tape of that, then the likelihood of the little guys getting justice is still very unlikely. We have a lot of big name actresses and even actors. Terry Crews spoke out about it too, and Brendan Fraser. But the Me Too movement, it brought awareness into our focus, but it didn't bring justice. It brought justice for some. It brought justice for people who were victims of folks like Harvey Weinstein. Even I think the Epstein case was would have never gained traction without the Me Too movement, without the person we elected, to be honest. That like ire towards him pivoted us into demanding these sort of things, right? But I didn't get justice in the traditional sense, in the way that in the 3D type of sense. Or I don't even want to say 3D because I did. Let me explain. So after I quit, I did a spell. This was I said I had a shaker jar justice spell, so that was more for the company culture, company culture and industry culture I just wanted to change, right? So I had to shake up that justice. The other spell that I did, I mentioned this before, it's like an incremental spell where you fill a bottle, and you put the petition under the bottle, preferably under like a stack of books because it's pressure on that person, like pay me, bitch. And if you don't pay me, you're gonna suffer. And I never do those kind of like uh petty spells or mean spells or whatever, but I had like no recourse, and like I just deserved more, you know? So God works in mysterious ways. Like I said, I didn't win any sort of case, but 6 months after I quit, after I did those spells, after I, did the spiritual work on this, 6 months after that, the company I was sexually harassed at declared bankruptcy. And the company I was working for that I just left, they were paying me $10 more hourly than the company before that. So I got my money. I got my justice. They hurt. They hurted. um, and I don't know if they technically lost money or not. I know bankruptcy can kind of be like kind of a con in some instances, but um, it's not a good look on you. And I ended up getting compensation in a roundabout different sort of way, right? So, the like universal karma came through. So that was very powerful. That's like the biggest, most powerful spell that ever happened. I was blown away whenever I heard that they were going bankrupt. But I also want to get to another spell I did. It was a road opener spell, and I did 4 different colored chime candles. The first candle that I did was this is a hoodoo practice of connecting with psalms. So my goal is to write all of the psalms in here. I don't know if I'll ever achieve that, but that's the goal. So I lit a purple candle to redirect myself to God. Also, I want to say about Psalms, how I work with these types of scripture is my oh, my cute dog. Okay, I gotta show you because she's just looking really adorable. Look at that. She's sweet baby. Yes. Okay. Sorry, guys. Too cute. So I use the North American Standard translation for whenever I look at Bible stuff. That's just the version that resonates with me the most. If you're into ancient, alien, angelic stuff, I would recommend that version because it's straight up aliens. But anyway, I feel like if you were to recite Psalms, for instance, under a King James version, then it can be really cumbersome. It's like medieval language that's sort of hard to speak. And so if it's difficult for you to speak, then it's difficult to get that mantra flowing, right? So what I would recommend whenever you are working with Psalms, whenever you're working with mantras, meditations, scripture, anything like that, is to rewrite it in words that flow more to you, right? So, it wasn't the precise vernacular, but it was a way to flow off my tongue, to get that chant going. So praise the Lord, praise the name of the Lord, praise him, O servants of the Lord, in the courts of the house of our God. And there's more on the other page, but that's one of my favorite Psalms. And whenever, like just randomly, I will say that now, that's been my favorite one to work with. And it's really just, like it says, rededicating yourself to God. And so not asking anything, just saying like, I will hear your sign, or I will notice your signs. I will listen to you, and I know you'll direct me in the right direction. So, um, I say that a lot. This one is for to conceive a child. But what I used it for was for creativity, to conceive a child or a project or a solution. So, and orange is the candle of creativity. Let's see another one. Okay, this one was crazy. So, this one was another one that happened lightning fast. And I have noticed that whenever I do money manifestations, I think this is why they're so popular, is because the money manifestations are like, zzz, like a rapid. And like I said, I wasn't awarded $25,000 that one time, but it's still a possibility. But if you work in smaller amounts, it's kind of crazy how fast this crap. I don't want to say crap. This abundance, these blessings, just sort of like pop into your life. And I think it's because we have. There are emotional attachments to money, but there are fewer emotional attachments to money than there are, say, a sick loved one, or your ex that you're disconnected from, that you're not talking to. So there's more emotions in those spheres than there are in money related things. I love working with money stuff. But yes, this Psalms was for success, abundance, blessings to increase in might and power. I lit a green candle, and when did I write this? Hold on one sec. I wrote this on 8/30. So August, sorry for my tail. On August 30th, and I got $3 more an hour, a raise, on September 3rd. Like, that was like immediately. And the company might have already, hi there, I'm talking about a book that whatever I write in it, they come true. So that was just the raise I got, and the company might have already been planning that, but it was just crazy, like the turnaround of setting that intention, burning that candle, doing that work, how quick that turned around into abundance for me. Was kind of blown away. The other one, this one I want to keep a little private, but it was for romance and friendship. This is to bring love and friendship. And immediately I started having a little thing with a coworker. It didn't last long, no hard feelings, but it did boost my energetic field, because I was a little cynical and bummed, and even though it didn't work out, it made me feel like wanted and attractive, and all of that made me feel like I still got it, and the guy was a good guy, and I learned, lessons from him, all of that, but it was just crazy how when I burned this candle, when I did the work, like, immediately there was more like flirtation, bonding, all of that. I don't do a whole lot of love spells because I feel very uneasy about manipulating other people's energy. I feel very uneasy about sort of tricking people into loving me. I feel like sometimes it can lead to like more insecurity, because it's like they wouldn't love me unless I did this spell. So I try to stay away from that, or when I do love spells, I try to conceptualize it in a different way. For instance, when I did this spell, it was more about like opening myself up to love. It wasn't necessarily about like, I want a man who's XYZ to come in and sweep me off my feet and blah, 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 blah. It was more like clearing my blocks because this was a road opener, right? I guess the clearing of blocks would be more of a blockbuster or something like that. But this like opened the roads, opened my heart, opened like how I viewed like possibilities, you know? So I feel like the spell was overall successful, but whenever you do love spells, it's like they are a little temporary for the other person, and you have to like think about it more as your personal journey rather than like dominating people to make them love you or be bonded to them or something like that. I mean, every witch has their journey. It's not my job to judge. I'm just saying like what my perspective is and what has worked for me. I've done self-love spells. I've done forgiveness spells. So I would recommend more along those lines than like make my ex call me, which I actually have done a make my ex call me. He did not. It was a sweet jar. It was, they have ammonia jars for clearing blocks. So basically, you take a petition. A petition is just a piece of paper. You put it in the ammonia jar, and the ammonia dissolves the paper, so it dissolves your situation. So on the petition, you would say, like, I am broke, and the ammonia would dissolve the paper, so you won't be broke anymore. Something like that, right? Well, with a sweet dissolving jar, you use Coca-Cola. So ammonia is sort of a malefic, has like malefic properties. Like I said, I'm broke, but ammonia jar would be like more like get this abuser out of my house, or really dark stuff to like clear out negative energy. But when you use Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola dissolves material, dissolves matter too. You put your petition in there, but it's like a sweeter dissolve. So it was like, my ex is not calling me. So I put it in the Coca-Cola jar, and he did not call me. Last time I checked, the petition was still intact. It hadn't dissolved, so I don't know. If you try that spell, I would recommend two things. One, use the traditional Coca-Cola that's sugary, or yeah. What am I saying? The traditional Coca-Cola that is from cane sugar and not from high fructose corn syrup. And two, I would not use the traditional paper bag petition like you usually do in those methods. I would use a thinner type of paper because part of me feels like it didn't work because the paper was too thick. Or maybe my ex is just stubborn. I don't know. But those type of spells, I think you're more likely to get disappointed, and it's more likely to throw you off your game. And I would always like suggest work on yourself 100%, 100% more than trying to get like other energies, because you are working with energies in root work, and it takes a lot out of you. I don't think it's like a waste. I don't think it's like a drain on anything, but it can leave you like tired putting in this work. The more emotions that are surrounding this working. Like I said, the money manifestations are a little easier because it doesn't like wear me out as much as the other stuff. But like the other stuff is worth it. It's just like whenever you're doing love spells, I would try to think like, is this guy worth it? Like, is this guy worth all the energy? Maybe all of my energy would be better served doing root work on myself and trusting that I will attract what I seek through my energy shift, right? Because if you do like someone outside of yourself, they have free will, and I don't know, I'm a Libra. I like equals, I like I don't want to feel like I'm like dominating over someone. I don't want to feel like they're dominating over me. I think about like I wouldn't want someone to do a love spell on me and not have the connection real. So it's very nuanced, but if spirit is making you feel funny about any sort of spell that you do, then it's not time to do that spell. And love spells are just a little for me. Like I already have these troubles in love that I don't want to add on top of it, indirectly. There was another. The next mantra that I'm doing was for my dad's health. I don't know if that improved. I don't want to get into that, more personal, but I also put chants. I guess chant is the best word to describe. Not a mantra, not an affirmation, a chant. Because I will put things like, and these are things you can chant while you're doing root work. I open myself to receive the abundance that is rightfully mine with gratitude and with grace. What else do we have? I am probably pronouncing this wrong, but Ho'oponopono, you've probably heard this on a lot of spiritual channels, and I have updated it a little bit, but you basically just chant these 4 things over and over again. I say, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgiven, meaning you are forgiven. I think there is a variation to this, but this is just the one that helps me. And you can like keep chanting it over and over again, and it helps you release any resentments towards others. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgiven. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgiven. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgiven. So let's see. I have things like the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change all I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So things like that. I will put prayers. I will put chants, and these are things I can come back to whenever I want to do a similar spell. I'll always have this. See, this is the last one I'm going to show you guys. But this one is, I was doing this thing where I was saving $5 bills from the cash that was left over. And I did a pretty good job. I saved around $200, but the COVID situation kind of turned this around. And I will admit, I started off 2020. I wanted to save more than I did. I made a few mistakes. We're human, but anyway. So by saving $5 bills, I own a scooter by April 2020. Tag, title, insurance, license, classes, and all expenses covered. It is cute and safe and runs smoothly. So that was putting a time limit on it, right? That was putting a time limit as far as April 2020 goes. I did not get a scooter in April 2020. Doesn't mean my dream is not within reach, but and it's fine to make like savings goals, financial goals, all of that, but putting it in this book, I think I was a little too specific instead of being more open about that goal. But it doesn't mean that I'll never have a scooter. It just means that I won't have it by April 2020. I'm about to get off here. Hi there. I'm about to get off here. If you have anything you want to ask, feel free. But if not, okay. If not, then I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.